Okay, come on. Okay. Hey, Best Yet, how are you? Thanks for coming.
Hey, Best Yet, how are you?
Let me turn off the
Thanks for coming, Best Yet,
speaker.
how are you?
Let me turn off
Thanks for coming, Best Yet,
speaker.
how are you?
Let me turn off
Thanks for coming, Best Yet, how are you?
Let me turn off.
Thanks for coming, Best Yet, how are you?
I don't know why it keeps
Thanks for
repeating.
coming, Best Yet, how are you?
I don't know why it keeps
Thanks for coming, Best Yet, how are you?
There we go. Okay, so we have Tamika here, Zen Grower 66, Blessed 2, hi, Garden in Eden, hello. We are family, thank you for coming. Zach is here, Clausen World, Cynthia Creer, Creer. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Hi, Brenda King, nice to see you. Her granny, Valerie Williams, Kathy LeClaire, mama, sister, daughter in the house. Tia, thank you for being here. Barb Brownlee is here. Stephanie of Stephanie's Garden. And I already said Best Yet. Okay, so we're right on time. If you guys have any questions, you can start them off right now. Put them in all caps. And then I will tell you what I'm going to talk about. Okay, let's see. Do I have any questions? Let me just sit back some. Hi, Left and 210. Melanie Williams, thank you for being here. Do you all have any questions? I don't see any popping up. Oh, here's one. Do the frost dates change all the time? If you mean from year to year, yes. And they are only predictions. And on my gardening group, I posted a link to how you can check for your first and last frost date through Farmer's Almanac by simply putting in your zip code, and you can put your city, your state, whatever, but I just put my zip code in, and they say that that's only a 30% accuracy based upon weather trends, but I find them to be extremely accurate. So, yeah. But just because the frost date was one day last year doesn't mean it's going to be the same date. I got an eyelash in my eye, guys. I'm sorry. Doesn't mean it's going to be the same date next year. Felt like my own eyelash. I don't wear only lashes, but nothing wrong with them. I did, but not now. Okay, so yeah, so it'll be different from year to year. And you said yours was 10/31 Best Yet, and now it's November 5th. Is this from the Farmer's Almanac in the same year or different years? But anyway, that's less than a week's difference, so that's still pretty good. Okay, I thought I saw another tree. Valerie Williams. My apple trees, lot all of I think you might have meant to type lost all of his leaves. What do you do? Depending on your zone, that's normal. Because my apple trees are just beginning to change colors, and my gala apple tree, which is the first apple tree out of the 7 that I have to leaf out and bloom flowers, it's the first one always to lose its leaves. So depending on where you are, if you'll let me know, that's probably the time for them to fall, because they are going through this change in the weather. Okay, I opened a bell pepper today and the seeds were turning black. Is that supposed to happen? Until you mean a fresh bell pepper that you picked off of your plant? So if you'll let me know, Valerie's in zone 9B. No, your leaves shouldn't be falling off of your apple trees. You might want to check your watering schedule, make sure it's got enough moisture, or if it has a deficiency. That's something I can't tell you without looking at the tree. But you're in a warmer climate than me, and mine are just beginning to drop leaves, so yours shouldn't, unless there was a drastic swing in your temperature. For example, we had 53 one morning, and then last Wednesday it was 93. That can put a tree into shock if you have experienced some type of bipolar weather. In any event, I wouldn't worry about it because they're going to fall sooner or later, they being the leaves. But you can always check to see if the tree is dead by scraping back a few layers on the bark of the tree toward the top, not the bottom, because it'll start dying from the top down. And if you still see green, then you know it's just going through a shock period. Okay, I hope I've helped you in some way. Yes, I picked the bell pepper to save the seeds and then thought maybe not when I saw some of them turning black. Yeah, it might have been overripe or something. You always want to save your best specimen. So if anything looks out of place with any seeds that you're collecting, I wouldn't collect those. I would get a better one. Hi, Wanda B. Nice to see you. Thank you, CC Love. Hey, Kathy. And Kathy in Miracle Homestead said that she's seen that to happen before with peppers. I've never had one the seeds to turn black. And so that's what I base what I'm telling you all about it from my own experience. Okay, Brenda Allen says, hi, Lady Cheryl. When I canned Saturday some lamb stew, my jar rims had rust, and why? Jar rims. That's normal. You probably used them before. That's normal. To combat that, you can make sure that you thoroughly dry them when you store them. And don't leave your rings on your jars when you store them. You can rinse them in a little vinegar when you remove them, and towel dry them. Make sure with a paper towel, make sure they're thoroughly dry. Okay. Okay, let's see. I don't have any more questions. Hi, Angela. I'm so glad you're here. Hello, Mrs. Carter. Is that Beyonce? No, just kidding. Okay, here's one from Barb Brownlee. She repotted her Brazilian starfish peppers and brought inside today. Will they overwinter okay inside? Depending on where you're going to put them. You're in a cold climate, zone 5. If you put them like in your basement or something, or a place where it's not heated, they're not going to survive. As long as the temperature is above 32, they can survive. I suggest that you cut them back down to about a foot high and start watering them only once a month, unless you see leaves dropping. But if you're going to have them in a living room or a heated area, you can put a grow light on them. You don't have to cut them way back, and you can just grow them like you would if you were outside. So that would depend. Thank you, Mama, Sister, Daughter, for the super chat. I appreciate you. She said, no, the jar rims were new. Brenda, I don't know any reason why they would rust a brand new jar rim. You're saying when you took them out of the canner, they were already rusting? I would check with the manufacturer or where you bought them. Take one back. Let them know you used them one time and they're already rusted. Something is wrong. I do know that there's been a shortage of rims, jars, lids, anything pertaining to canning, where it's a water bath canner or a pressure canner. There have been extreme shortages. Um, Maybe the manufacturer rushing them through. Was it an off brand? Was it not a Care or Balls jar? I really don't know. I really can't answer that question for you. I would suggest if to take one back or take them back and see if they will replace your money, because they shouldn't rust on the first canning procedure. Okay, now I'm going to answer some questions that you all emailed me. Because I ask anybody if they want to email me about a specific topic for me to cover in my live chats, to feel free to do so. Let me see if I can tighten this up a little bit. Yeah. I can't drop my tripod any lower. I got to figure something out. But, so yeah, that's what I'm going to go into right now, the email questions. Okay? Maybe I can sit up some. Oh, Barb says she has it in the family room with the air garden light. Excellent. You'll be having peppers all winter long. Valerie Williams, how do I take care of a pomegranate tree? Not sure what kind it is. That is too broad of a question to ask during the chat. That requires a whole lesson plan. That's something you're going to have to research. Google how to take care of a pomegranate tree. There'll be a lot of articles. You got to determine what type it is, where you live, that type of thing. That's more than an hour answer, and I'm not being facetious. I can put that on next week's topic, and try to condense my answers where I can be a little bit more broad. I hope that's okay with you, pomegranate, because I have successfully grown pomegranate trees. Okay. Living Miracle Homestead said, Lady Cheryl, I hold back my new lids and only use the old ones. Oh, thank you, Best Jetta. Put just a little foundation on today and a little lipper sticker. And I have my old gardening dress on. You probably can't see me. This dress is real old. I garden in it because it's loose fitting. And I can tell you exactly what year how old this dress is, because it was the year that I had breast cancer, 1992. And let me just talk a little bit about that, guys, before I start going into my prepared remarks. Because it is October Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it is predicted that 1 in every 4 women will get breast cancer, and that number is even higher for African Americans. And so, since I'm an African American woman, I can tell you about my experience. Nobody in my family had breast cancer, and I caught a lump at the age of 38 myself doing a breast cancer exam. And I was very blessed. My doctor told me that I was ugly. I'm sorry. My doctor told me that I was lucky, and I told her I was blessed because the Holy Spirit, and it could have, I don't know how the Holy Spirit speaks to you all, but something in me told me, check your breasts. And I did, and I felt a hard lump. I made an appointment to the gynecologist who referred me to a breast specialist, and we had a mammogram, and she tried to aspartate the lump in her office. And she said it was very small and irregular, and she didn't think that it was cancer, but she scheduled me for a biopsy, and I signed papers that if it was cancerous, because you guys know that when they go in to do their biopsy, they see cancerous cells from the specimen that they take out, and you're still asleep while they're doing this, and you can opt out to have a mastectomy, or in my case, since it was so small and it was in the first stage, it was lumpectomy. And 16 lymph nodes were removed from my left arm to make sure that the cancer has not spread. Until, you're right, God is good all the time. So they took about a pea-sized tumor out with more tissue, like a nickel size, and all the tissue around the tumor itself. They sent that off to a lab in California, a pathology lab, because in the state of Texas, it's probably everywhere, you have to get independent labs to do a second opinion on the pathology report, so they won't just be doing mastectomies and hysterectomies and what other kind of surgeries when you have cancer, just to be doing it. How many of you have heard of somebody had a surgical procedure, come to find out they didn't have to have it? So they passed this law in the state of Texas. They had to send it off to an independent lab. And it came back 3 days ago, 3 days later, and it was indeed cancer. But as I said, it was in the first stage. But this is the tricker. It was in a very aggressive type. And had I not detected it myself, I wouldn't have had another yearly annual physical until 7 months later, because I had just had one. So it would have spread all over my body. So I know that I have a purpose in life, and God left me here to do something, because he could have took me out. But he saw fit to leave me here, and I can spread the good news. And I hope I don't come across too preachy, but I just can't help it. I got to testify. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A lot of people can relate to the Bible. They look at you like the crazy. If they weren't raised in a Christian home and you start talking about Jesus turned water to wine and he made the blind to see and the lame to walk, I can go on and on about the good news. But if they don't have that within them, they can't relate unless they're touched by the Holy Spirit. And who knows, maybe I was chosen. Ain't no maybe, I'm just going to say it. I know I was chosen as a messenger to deliver the good news that God is still healing today and he's still in the blessing business. So people may not relate to miracles, but every time, guys, I used to have to go in every 3 months for a mammogram. Then it was 6 months. Then it was a year. Then it was for about 5 years. It was every year. And then it was after that, it was like after you cancer free for 5 years, then it was every year you get your mammogram. And I'm telling you, so help me Jesus. Every time I would go, it would be somebody in there crying, their eyes out, shaking, nervous, because they thought they had cancer or they knew they had cancer. And I could sit there and tell them about the good news. If God is still healing, because he healed me. It's 28 years ago, this month, guys, October 17th, 1992, I was diagnosed with a terminal type of breast cancer. If it had metastasized, I would have been out. So I can't do nothing but thank God, because I know that he saved me and he healed me to be a living witness and to give my testimony. Now, I'm sorry if this is your first time being in here. I'm not like this all the time. I try to keep it focused. I said I try. I try to stay focused on what you come here for the gardening, for the ways to preserve your harvest, questions and answers, natural skincare products. I try to talk about all of that because my background is in cosmetology. My love is for gardening, my passion. But I know a lot about the natural hair and skincare because I taught beauty school for over 30 years in managed school, okay? All right, so now that led me to this. So the first book I wrote, trying to get the copyright, 1999, Healthy Hair Care Tips for Today's Black Woman. Now, you know the trend is everybody's wearing natural hair. But in the 90s, up until a few years ago, most women got a relaxer. So I wrote this book while I was having my salon in the shopping mall. I was there 10 years. And that's my daughter on the cover, graduated from high school. And I thought that was one of the reasons why God left me here. Because people have always told me, you tell a good, interesting story. You have, what the old people say, a gift of gabbing, a way of effectively communicating. So I thought, well, hey, well, maybe my mission was to write books. So I did that. Okay? And I had a large salon in the mall with a lot of mirrors and glass. You can walk by and you see everything going on. And I put up partitions because I always felt that I was sympathetic to people who had alopecia, baldness, and spots because of illnesses or other reasons. But until I lost every hair on my head, I couldn't imagine what they were going through. But I did when it happened to me. So my husband built a petition, removable, y'all feel me? So I can give those women privacy when I weave the cap on the top of their hair before they started doing lace front wigs with parts. Went to a lot of classes, went everywhere, learning how to do it. So, because I thought maybe that's my purpose, to help people that are going bald, whether it was hereditary or, like I say, sickness. Okay, so I still was chugging along and I was doing okay. And then I went on vacation and I came back and I would tell all my stylists that worked with me and my clients about what fun we had at family reunions and who had on what. And they say, girl, you can put that in the book. And so then I wrote the second book, Sooner or Later. And now this picture is of my daughter right out of college. And this one right when she graduated high school. And this book, Sooner or Later, is a suspense drama comedy. Very fulfilling. And this book was everywhere. It's at the Library of Congress. I self-publish, and I have my own company, Talley Publishing. And if you look right here, this logo is the silhouette of my brothers at my sister's wedding, Talley Publishing. And this did really well, but this book outsold this book. I have about 200 of these books still left. It's a second printing. I only have 3 of these left. So I'm not really, I have it on the website just to give for credentials. I really don't care if nobody buy it or not. Does that make sense? I put it on there to let them know what I have done. Okay. So I just want to share that with you all. Breast cancer awareness. Please, 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 ladies, don't be afraid of it, of having the mammogram. Don't be afraid, even if it runs in your family and you just don't want to go have yourself checked, because it's not a life and death sentence. I didn't have a mastectomy. I had the lump removed, I had the lymph nodes, and I did a trial study with taking chemo for 6 weeks, daily injection shots that I had to give myself because my husband couldn't do it. And my daughter was 15 and the other children were 3 years, so that would have been 12 and 9. So I had to give the shot to myself, and it was horrible. And then after that, I had to have 6 weeks of radiation, Monday through Friday. And that's when I got this problem up here with my thyroid. And that's why I can't sing like I used to sing, because I had a tumor that wrapped around my esophagus, my thyroid, my parathyroid, and my vocal cords. And I had that removed in 2015. Okay? So I've been through a lot. This arm is 5 inches bigger than this arm. That's why I never wear nothing really fitted in here. And I never complain about it. And I'm not complaining about it today because I'm alive. I could have been dead sleeping in my grave. So I just had to share that with you. And check your breasts, have your mammograms. It's now predicted that you should have them, I think, at the age of 35 if your insurance will pay for it. It's free and as preventative care in most insurance companies. You don't have to pay a dime for a mammogram. Thank you, NC Dean. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hello, Maureen. Hello, Elise. Good to see you and everybody that been sending me their blessings and well wishes and amening. And Kathy said you can't leave out the Lord. And speaking of Kathy, Wanda B, somebody need to hear that. Amen, Wanda. Speaking of Kathy, I'm going to feature her first. You guys know I told you I was going to feature 3 people every week. Some of these two channels are small, some of them are larger, but I'm not going to feature anybody that I don't think you can learn from. It's not about clicks for me. I'm going to feature you because you feature me, or you sent me some seeds or a cutting and I'm going to feature you. That ain't about it with me. I'm going to feature people that I know my subscribers can learn something from, something that I don't even know. Because I'm learning from all of you all. It's a foolish person that thinks they know everything. Okay? So the first YouTube channel I'm featuring is Living Miracle Homestead. Y'all referred to me saying, that's right, Kathy. Oh, you had that problem too, Kathy. Check her out. Now, I'm not going to act like I'm a big shot. I'm just a little fish in this YouTube world. But my channel has grown tremendously, and my product line has taken off again. So I can't watch the whole video, Kathy. You know me, I'll pop in and say, I'll watch some of it. I'll try to catch the rest later while I'm making products, while I have my earpiece in, and Bria is over here in my dining room in kindergarten virtual school. I do the best that I can. I have too many subscribers to watch everybody's video. But if you want to learn something about permaculture, growing a lot of fruit trees and food all year long, check out Living Miracle Homestead, Miss Kathy. Let's give her a hand, everybody. Somebody put her in the Kathy, put yes or something in this so everybody can see that. Living Miracle Homestead. Okay, the next person I'm going to shout out, this young lady told me she started watching me a long time ago. And she said I encouraged her to start her YouTube channel. And guys, I'm telling you, she and her granddaughter Ava, they are doing it. She's growing some of everything in raised garden beds, in containers. She had a beautiful banner made this past summer and sold some of her goods at the farmer's market. She grew a lot of seedlings for other people can buy, because everybody can't grow seedlings and everybody can't, have a different schedule and they work and they can't do it. This lady's name is Angela Busy Bee Garden and Homestead. Angela's Busy Bee Garden and Homestead. So I think that's how I said it right. And if I didn't, somebody correct me. And Angela, if you're here, please say yes so they can get it. And then last but not least, this young lady, I started watching her, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, because of her, what do you call it? Do you call it a meme? She doesn't have a picture. She has, it's Carson World. I'll tell you who it is. I'm looking at this picture here because I'm looking at her. And she's got like this little red cowboy hat. I think she had a different color hat then. But that intrigued me. Oh, let me see what she's doing. She is doing some incredible things. Her channel is growing. I think she commented on either my video or I commented on hers, and she said her little niece told her, TT, you getting more subscribers. So you all help her out. Go over there to all of these channels that I named. These people are very passionate about what they do. And I'll tell you something else. Some people will support you because you bought something from them. These people haven't bought anything from me. They haven't bought any Cheryl's products, so I'm giving them a shout out. That's not what I'm about. I'm about helping those that are trying to help themselves and help other people. Now, after they shout out, if they want to buy some cream, that's cool. But I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. You're not obligated. I am shouting these channels out, and I will continue to do that every week. So go check them all out. And at the end of this video tonight, I will put in the description box a link to all of those channels, just like I did the 3 people last week. And I don't even know if they know that I shouted them out because they haven't said anything. That was Ession's Family Garden, Dan's Permaculture Food Forest. I can't even think of the other person. I slept since then. So, I will put a link to these 3 individuals. Again, I'm going to repeat their names. Living Miracle Homestead. The second one I shouted out was Angela's Busy Bee Garden and Homestead. And Clausen World. And for those of you who wonder why I'm hesitating, trust me, I have good memory. I just don't have good short-term memory. I am 66 years old, and I still can remember the preamble to the Constitution of the United States of America. I remember all the poetry and stuff we had to memorize in school. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ear. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. I could go on. 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. And among those rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But I can't tell you all where I put my keys. unless I put them in the same spot every time. So, the post office was closed. But I don't trust the service to come pick up my packages, so I do click and print, but I physically take them in because the post office is only 1.5 miles from me. So I went in and dropped them in the box inside the post office, but the post office was closed. But where was I going with that? Oh, but when I got ready to go, I couldn't find my purse. I put my keys behind my door on the little hook, and I used to hang up my little purse to have my little debit card and my driver's license. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it until I got back home. I said, Lord, let me get there. I'm going to drive real careful and come straight home. And that's what I did. So as you get older, sometimes you will have senior citizen moments and you will confuse a few words. So don't worry about it. You're not going senile, having dementia. It's older age. That's all it is to it. Okay, so those were the 3 channels. I told you about the book. So somebody wanted to know, how did I store my seeds? And this is how I do it. I showed you guys this before. This little test tube situation, or valves, or whatever you want to call them. It was less than $20 on YouTube. I mean, see? Senior citizen moment. Amazon. And I haven't finished it because I'm real busy making products. But I store them in here, then it'll go into a plastic bag, and it'll go into the freezer. So I give seeds out every week, and I'm soon going to run out of them because I don't have that many left. Some of them are old, but they will germinate because I keep them in the freezer. Okay? Thank you, Tia, for putting those names up. And Mama, sister, daughter, thank you so much. And somebody type in Angela Busy Bee if y'all haven't already. And Clausen World. She was here, so she could put in hers. And Clausen World, you might want to put in your gardening zone. Kathy put in your gardening zone, and somebody put Angela's in. I think Angela is in 7, gardening zone 7A. I'm not sure, but check her out, and you'll find out. Okay, another question I got on email was, telling me that I had a beautiful tomato harvest because I put a post up sharing with you all a tomato harvest. But if you read the post, I said this is an old picture. But some people assume that I just harvested these tomatoes. No, where I live in my zone, 8A in Mesquite, Texas, I harvest all of my spring and summer tomatoes by the second week in June. So that wasn't a new harvest, that was an old one. Then I have my second round of tomatoes that I will harvest in November, December. Okay? But I wanted to give you some inspiration because some of you are still growing tomatoes and you're getting ready to get a freeze. Best yet mentioned something about her dates. So I want you to know that tomatoes is one of the few fruits that can ripen off the vine and still maintain sweetness. Because if you didn't know, the tomatoes in the grocery store have been harvested when they were green and wrapped up in that little tissue and put in a box, and then they put them out after they turn red. So you don't have to put them in the windshield. You don't have to get them any sunlight. I put mine on my dining room table, went to Disney World, and came back, and that's why I put a before and an after picture. Okay? But people were asking me what's the lowest temperature for a tomato through email, and I thought I would address it by putting that post up. Okay? All right. Any questions on that? Picking your tomatoes early. And if you didn't know, you can grow tomatoes under a grow light inside of your home. I did that one year, from seed all the way to harvest under grow lights. Sobi Nairi said she has some Cherokee purple still on the vine and she doesn't want to lose them. That's right. Let them stay on there until they say it's going to freeze. That way they can get big as they can. Okay. Did I miss any other questions? NC Dean, keep singing and that will help you keep your memory. Yes, you're right. You're exactly right. NC Dean, Wednesday is when I will upload my new videos. I try to do Wednesday and Saturday, but I might be a little early, a little off. And I talk about in this video how I sing and talk to my plants. Now, I know y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but I talk to my husband, my mama when I'm out there too. And we have conversations in my head. But I talk to my plants, I talk to my loved ones that have gone on, and I talk to the Lord. And for the first time, I changed up the introduction to the video, and I started out by singing. I'll do a little bit of it. Y'all know I can't sing like I used to. And hey, wait. I'm not one of those people. You guys, how many of you ever been somewhere and the lady or the man get up and say, I'm in bad voice today, and I want y'all to pray for me that I get through this song. And then they go up there and show out and sing with the best voice they ever could sing with. I'm not kidding. My voice changed when I had the surgery here. But anyway, I'm going to sing just a little bit of it. I hope I can. I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses, and he walks with me, and I ain't gonna sing no more. I opened up my video with that song. Who was that? NC Dean said, keep singing. I do it every day. So I'm changing it up, and my next video, I'm going to have that and showing you some stuff in my garden. Part 2 of my update of the fall garden. And I'll share with you what's been going on with my, you remember the last couple of lives I showed you the little cups and how I was growing the seedlings? And then I told you I put them in the ground. You are going to be amazed when I show you how big they are now. Tia, thank you so much. Yes, he walks with me, talks to me, tells me. And the thing is, no matter what you're going through, When I get out to that garden, I don't care how bad I feel or whatever is bothering me, it goes away because it's my sanctuary, it's my peace when I go out to my garden. Okay. All right. And that's another thing about Kathy. Kathy has a testimony. I'm not going to say too much, Kathy, because it's not my story to tell. But I know this lady has had some surgeries and she had been real ill. And she kept on gardening. That lady got to the hospital, I think the second or the third day. She was still back out there in that garden. She had that surgery. And I went like, boy, that's a warrior. That's a garden warrior. That's somebody that knows you can never give up on your health and never give up on your garden. I have been reading some horrible things. Now, I'm going to tell you what I do. When I'm in these Facebook groups and people say it's really kind of crazy stuff, excuse me, I read it, but I don't comment. Because I was raised, if you can't say something good, don't say nothing at all. If you can't motivate people, don't bring them down. So why would you go in the garden group and say, that's it, I'm throwing up to H with this gardening? The worms took over. Or what? Why would you do that? When we're supposed to be inspiring and motivating each other. I just read right past. That's a person that's not a true gardener. Because a real gardener is not going to give in to the problems. They're going to be Googling. They're going to be emailing. They're going to put in the search engine in YouTube, Instagram, anywhere they can, try to figure out how can they get rid of these worms. They're not going to say the H with it and give up. That's crazy to me. This is not for everybody. Okay? It's not for everybody. I'm going to share this with you. Since I had my thyroid surgery and I have to take this medication and I start talking, it makes this real dry in here. And my lips start peeling. If I go out in the sun and if you have any thyroid issues, and any nurses in here, they'll tell you, you've got to have these arms covered up when it's 100 degrees or it'll start burning. Okay? You can't handle that sun. That's why I always have a big hat on and stuff when I go out. Now, I said all of this to say this. Am I going to stop gardening because I'm having some side effects of the medication I take for my thyroid? No. I'm going to put on longer sleeves, gloves, hat, whatever I got to do. And sometimes I run in and out there, guys, and I don't even have no gloves on because I like feeling the dirt. So all I'm saying is, never give up. How many times have you all heard me say, I killed some trees? Every time I say it, I can't help it but laugh. Because I killed some trees, but I didn't give up. I didn't give up, and now they just bursting with so much fruit and stuff. And I know it's only going to get better. Okay. Hey, Sonia. Nice to be here. Stinky Putty Puddle Ranch. I love your name. Keep on pushing. That's right. It's a turn off for me to hear people talk bad. Exactly. Why would you come into a group and start talking bad about gardening? Get out the group. Because if you say something to them, they want to say something. I'm out. I go, bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia, because you didn't need to be here anyway. In my head. I don't post that, but I say it in my head. Thank you, Bessiette. Thank you so much. Okay. So now, I want to talk about 3 soil amendments. If you got another question, put them in caps, because I want to go on my agenda and talk about the other things. The first soil amendment I want to talk about is worm castings. Now, always looking for attention. That's right, Kathy. They want them to beg them to say, oh, please don't give up. Why don't you try this? They want attention. But, oh, thank you, Brenda. But I'm like this. I told people in my group, I don't want a lot of attention seekers in my Facebook group. You have to answer 3 questions. If you don't answer those 3 questions, I'll just delete the request. If you answer the 3 questions and I read, yes, you're a part of my YouTube channel. You subscribe. You like to grow peppers, tomatoes, lemons, whatever it is, and how long you've been gardening. And if you say you have never grown anything, I don't want you in there because you're an observer. You don't want to learn. Because there are gardening groups on Facebook for beginners. But I will direct the people to that. I just don't turn them off. But I want people who are for real. If they say I've been gardening 1 week, I accept. If they say I started gardening through the pandemic, I accept. If they say I got all my stuff, my seeds, but I don't know where to start, I accept. But if they say I don't know, I never garden, I don't know when I'm going, you're wasting time. You're going to be one of those people who said it. Somebody said it. I can't think who said it, but they said attention seekers. You're going to get those. You have lurkers and attention seekers. Okay, let's take a question here. What is the best way to thin out plants that have been direct sowed? Okay, you can take like a little steak knife that has like a little, slender edge to it. This is a tail cone, rat tail cone. But the steak knife goes down like this and it gets slender and you can just scoop that out, put it where you want to. Or you could just take scissors and snip it off and eat it like mega greens, like sprouts. Okay? Somebody got a question, but it's not in caps, but I'll take it. Zen Grower 66, please put it in all caps next time. Left, killing some blueberries right now. Okay, thank you. I see somebody, we got a lurker in here. A cheese sandwich. Gonna try to cut them back and hope they come back. I think they will, cause I have faith. Zen Growers, blueberries like acidic soil. So you may have to put something in to lower your pH. If you haven't done that already. Okay. Just a minute, guys. I gotta handle some business. Just a minute. I don't know why this my. Thank you, mama, sister, daughter. But I'm going one step further. I'm going to report them. For pornography. But you were on it, and I appreciate you. Thank you, Toya. Thank you very much. Okay, so where was I, guys? I think I was answering the question. Oh, the blueberries, they like acidic soil, and you can get organic fertilizer. I'm trying to think right now the name of it. I can't think of the name, but you can go to any nursery, any big box store. You can put it in the search engine from Amazon, and it's the same thing you use for azaleas. Okay. Oh, and you got the citrus food for the blueberries? No, you don't want to put citrus food on blueberries. You need something that is going to lower the pH lower than citrus. Okay? All right. So, I was talking about worm castings. Worm castings is something that I recommend that you apply every season to your gardening beds. When you're starting a new garden, it will help them out tremendously. And if you're not composting, I'm going to add that on my list to talk about soon. to how to compost during the winter. Because my garden, I noticed when I started heavily composting and replenishing my soil with homemade compost, that's when my garden took off. That's how you saw all those tomatoes in there. I know that was homemade compost and worm castings. I think I got a question coming. Okay. Hey, Shasha O'Hara, good to see you. Okay, so put some worm castings in there. Um, in with your compost when you replenishing your soil every season that you can grow. I grow all year round, so I add a little worm castings. The next thing that I want to tell you about is called azomite rock dust. It has over 92 trace minerals, nutrients. If you don't have a lot of mulch, and I'm not talking about that mulch that you get in the store that's dyed. I don't recommend putting that on any food other than like your flower beds. You can do that, but not with your food because it has dyes in it. If you don't have a lot of leaves in your yard, or your neighbor can give them to you, or wood chips, then I recommend that you use some azomite rock dust. And then the third soil amendment I think that everybody should use, unless they have wood chips and a lot of leaves in your yard, and that is, that's my rock, mycorrhizal fungi. And in my last video, if you guys watched it, I showed you on top of the wood chips as they decay, they have a lot of beneficial mycorrhizal fungi in there. That's that white stuff. And I'm telling you, it works. I don't have to buy it anymore because I have all wood chips in my pathways, in between the garden beds, the trees, nothing but wood chips. It took me years to get this. So now I automatically have that decaying wood that creates that mycorrhizal fungi. And what the mycorrhizal fungi, I'm going to get your question in a minute, mama, sister, daughter. That mycorrhizal fungi creates a system where all the plants are corrected to this beneficial fungus. And during the times of drought, they make sure that they deliver the moisture to where it needs to go. I know it sounds crazy, but it really works. So when you have a drought, or when your plants need nutrition, they all talk to each other, and that mycorrhizal fungi will connect them all together. So if you want to write this down, 3 soil amendments I recommend that you must have, unless you've been gardening for years and years and years and your soil is built up. Mycorrhizal fungi, azomite rock dust, and worm castings. Now get the questions. I think the first question is, what do I need to do to my soil to prepare for the next season? And somebody else was saying something about that mama, sister, and daughter. I know. Should we cover our raised beds or leave them open? Never leave your soil open, because you just allow the wind, the rain, and everything to just wash the nutrients out. So this is going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The lady that asked what does she need to do to prepare her soil for the next season, Janice, add just a little bit of what I just told you, those 3 soil amendments, and then cover them up with leaves. Same thing with you, mama, sister, daughter. Always cover your raised garden beds. Never leave any soil uncovered for a long period of time. Unless you put plastic, and that's not uncovered. Like I'm solarizing a bed in my garden bed in my greenhouse because I've gone 10 years without not growing something in it, nonstop. Okay. Hey, Crystal, nice to see you. Toy says she need to start a worm bin. I've gotten better with insects and things like that. But I'm not ready for the worm bin. But I think it's wonderful. Everybody, Crystal, who just came in, she has a lot of pets and plants and stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw a couple of your videos about worms. Am I right, Crystal? And somebody want to know where you buy worm castings. I buy mine off of Amazon. You're not repeating anything. It's okay, babe. If you're asking a simple question where you can get some worm castings, I buy my Prime shipping free delivery off of Amazon, and I have bought them off of eBay. And some people say they don't like to do that. They like to just go in the store and physically and get them, but I can't find them in a large bag for less than $1 a pound. Like they come like about $29 for a 30-pound bag of worm castings, and I only use one bag now a year. I used to use 2 or 3. Say that again about meditation. Talking about going out to the garden, that being my sanctuary, where I sing, chill, relax, have my morning a cup of decaf coffee or tea. I think that's might be what you're referring to. Okay. I'm glad you're here, Sleepless in the Carolinas. So you can cover with plastic, providing you're trying to do that for solarization. So I'm I covered mine with 2 sheets of 6 milliliter greenhouse plastic so it can warm up in there and destroy any microscopic fungus that I don't need or spider mites. Okay? Because remember, it had nematodes in that bed. If you've been with me for a while, I grew 150 marigold seedlings because I had nematodes in all my garden beds. It killed them all. Everything I pulled up, no knotty roots, right? But the marigolds attract white flies. So I had a lot of white flies in there. So I'm trying to get rid of that. And somebody emailed me or they commented for me to go get some ladybugs. I have plenty of ladybugs. Ladybugs basically like to eat aphids. They don't eat the white, they don't eat, did I say white flies? I'm sorry, I meant to say spider mites. I think I did say it right. The marigolds attracted spider mites. So I have a lot of spider mites, and you can't hardly see spider mites with the naked eye. But you know what they do because they have these little spots all over the leaves, and it sucks all the juice and the life out of the leaves. So I'm solarizing that bed, mama, sister, daughter, with 2 layers of plastic so that I can kill the spider mites. Now, the beneficial insects like earthworms, they'll go down way deep in the earth. How many of you have planted a tree, and the more you dug down deep, the deeper you dug down, the more you start running into earthworms? So it's not going to kill those. Those will go underneath, and they'll crawl out if they want to, out of the bed and go someplace else. Brian and I picked up a couple of them. I think it was in the video. Was that? No, I think we were transplanting a fruit tree that was in a container. Hi, Little Farmers Farm. Nice to see you from the UK. Okay. My daughter-in-law's relatives live in the UK. Everything has a purpose. That is so correct. Eco neighbor, eco neighbor, eco neighbor. I watched one of your videos. I think it was an old video. I was on my television, so I didn't comment, but I will go back. I think it was you, eco neighbor. You made a video about shampoo ginger. Am I right? Because I planted some. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And I figured it out because it needed more space. The container was too small because they can grow 6 to 7 feet. Shampoo ginger. You squeeze the liquid out of it and you can use it to moisturize your skin, or you can make shampoo out of it. Long story short, yeah, eco neighbor, that was you. Told you I had a good memory. But I was watching on my TV, and you know when you project it on your TV, you can't leave a comment. And I said, I'm going to go back and find it and comment on it. And I found it very informative, eco neighbor. And I'm going to go ahead and put them in a 17-gallon pot and bring it in the greenhouse and grow it longer because it didn't flower. It wasn't in there long enough. And I planted the regular ginger too. for medicinal purposes. Okay, so where did I leave off? I think I answered everything. I'm a new subscriber and I love your knowledge. Also, you sing like an angel. Oh, bless your heart. Thank you. 2 a.m. over here. Yeah, in the UK. Yeah, my daughter's in-laws and my son-in-law's uh, family live in the UK, and we know there's a big time difference. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you staying up and watching this. Okay. All right. Scroll up. I missed Sobi. I'm gonna call you Sobi. I missed your question. I'm looking for Sobi's question. I can't find it, but I tell you what. Here's a couple questions I need to get. Sobi, if you put yours down at the bottom again. Oh, no, I got you. I've been hearing people advocating using human urine in their gardens, sprayed on their soil and plants. What are your thoughts on that? Okay. Scientifically, I know that you're supposed to dilute it a whole lot. You're not supposed to just go out and pee uh, on your plants. And I know scientifically it is supposed to help with something I don't want to do. And doing my research on that, I couldn't do it if I want to do it because I take too much medication. And the medication would go into your urine and go into your plants. So that's my thoughts on that. I know a lot of people do it. I am not knocking anybody. I don't want to think about urine when I'm eating my tomatoes. Sorry. Susie wants to know, what about coffee grounds, eggshells for blueberries? Yes, coffee grounds can lower pH somewhat, but she would do better since her blueberry bush is not doing well. She would do better giving them all of what they need instead of parts of it. We're going to talk about that soon when I talk about composting in another live. I said earlier, and those are the main three things that I encourage everybody to compost: banana peels, eggshells, and coffee grounds. It would expedite the breaking down or decomposing of the compost. And then the other question from Ian Simmons: what varieties of tomatoes were in the post today? Okay, they were Jet Star, Mortgage Lifters, Genevieve Baker Creek, and the beefsteak. Okay? And you can go back and play this again and get them again. Okay. Oh, Crystal, that's why it wasn't Crystal with the worm casting. It was somebody, though. Worm castings are not hard to find on eBay and Amazon. Toya says spider mice in Cali. Now, anybody live in Texas? We are being inundated, I think I said that right, with white flies all over Dallas County. It was on the news. And I'm not worried about it right now. I'm going to tell you why. I went out there and I started spraying my neem oil. I got the greenhouse sprayed real good. And it even killed a grasshopper. And, because I put that in my last video. But they ran, the white flies ran away from the neem oil, and they're all up in the leaves of my muscadines and my Concord grapevines. And so they're just hiding in there. But the leaves are all turning. The trees are shedding leaves and turning. I'm going to wait until everything drops that isn't evergreen. And then I'm spraying like crazy. Okay. Hello, Little Farmer's Farm. Yes. Moss. Okay, I think I spoke to you already. And Clausen World is in Texas. Oh, yes, because we talked about that, Clausen World. Yeah, you've been spraying too for white flies. They're going crazy in this area. Oh, and Cynthia said they're even in East Texas. I don't know what happened, but I've never had white flies like this. Have you ever grown black tomatoes? Yes, I have. I think I did a black creme. Tastes like a plum to me. Does anybody know of a black-owned company that sell gardening seeds? I don't, but I think I heard of one. I can't remember. I can't remember. Okay. Do you use 100% organic neem oil? Yes. Pure cold pressed neem oil. Not neem oil sprays that got a very, very small amount of neem oil in it. Pure cold pressed neem oil. And then somebody asked me about this. This does not kill white flies. Somebody emailed me this, asked me to show this. I talked about it, but I don't think I showed it. This is by Medina, natural and biodegradable. It's super concentrated orange oil. I use this for ants. Anybody that has ants in their pots and containers, now is the time to get them. Because I tell you, do not be spraying these oils when it's real hot outside. So now is the time to spray. And I got all this stuff around me to show you. I think I showed you everything. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about my products. The candles did real good. We sold several of them. They went in the mail today. And they're all soil with essential oils. So let me just say this to you. These candles are not paraffin. I love the smell. These are soy, natural soy and essential oil. So somebody asked me, did I have bubble gum? I don't do artificial stuff. So you're not going to walk in here and you smell like you're in a candy factory. You're just going to smell a delightful scent. This one is lemongrass, lavender, and hibiscus. My peace candle. And it will repel insects. Another thing I want to share with you, because I don't think I ever talked about my hand sanitizer. And this has vitamin E oil in it. It has the same beautiful scent as the candle and the hair products because it has lavender, essential oil of hibiscus, and lemongrass. And of course, pure vitamin C and aloe vera juice. So it's going to make your hands real soft. I don't know about you all, but I started having a lot of problems because I was putting bleach and everything on my water when oh, don't you know, I know the Closet World. I have to buy it by the gallons. It's hard to get by 70% alcohol. I had to buy 90%. Toya, my website is, can somebody type it in? One of my moderators, LadySherylProducts.com. I'll do it. I think my moderators is. PRODUCTS.com. There we go. LadySherylProducts.com. Somebody said they got seeds 10% at Ace Hardware. Orange oil handles the termites too. Very good. I got my order today. Can't wait to use them. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Net Homesteader. Put your questions or comments in all caps so I can find them. Black tomato seeds, I got from, um, I'm sorry, I've taken somebody out. I got from, Baker Creek. So I can't help but laugh at this one. Just give me a moment. Thank you, mama, sister, daughter. You have my permission. Just go ahead on it and take them out, period. My favorite part of gardening is showing my grand angels, eco neighbor, and for them to ask questions, and you can see the light bulb turning off over in their head or coming on. Brenda King says she's loving her body cream and her hair growth promoter. Thank you, Miss Brenda King. That means a lot. It's a lot of hard work. I do everything. I don't, I don't have any help right now. Okay. I didn't have seeds for the pine cone shampoo. I bought a cutting from eBay. Somebody asked me that question. Who was that? All Nat Homesteader. Yeah, I got cuttings from eBay. My permaculture garden is in the house from Tennessee. Oh, Stacy, the kind of damage that white flies do is they take a vibrant green leaf and they'll start eating it from the inside, sucking all the juice out of it, so it turns to a dirty, nasty, dull green with little spots all in it. Wait a minute. You said white flies. Yeah, that's right. The spider mites is almost the same way, but they go all into the soil and go all through the inside of the plant. White flies hang out on the outside of the plant. You can shake it and you can see the little white flies flying around. But the spider mites, you can shake it and you won't see them. They're inside. Okay? And sometimes they do like little squiggly lines inside of your leaves, especially like okra. I've seen them on okra and beans. Shining out white flies in Louisiana as well. What blossoms do you grow over in the U.S. for the bees? Everything. Anything that blooms, a bee will come to it. Now, right now we have a little lower temperature, so we're seeing a lot of big jumbo bumblebees. That's the black bees about that big. I've captured a few of them in my videos. What seller would you recommend on eBay? I don't recommend any seller on eBay for seeds or cold pressed neem oil. The reason why I don't recommend anybody, because I may have a good experience, you may have a bad one. But I will tell you this. eBay is owned by PayPal. PayPal does not play, and if you got a issue that you can't solve with the merchant, they will refund your money. But you also can look at their rating. I don't buy from anybody that doesn't have a 98% score of positive or above, 98 or above. Okay? I was looking at something on there the other day, and somebody had a 100% rating on something, and I put it in my shopping cart, but I didn't buy it. I don't remember what it was. Yes, Clausen World, you got flowers on loofah flowers. Usually they have those yellow flowers, they come all over. Yeah, you'll see a lot of bees on that. Siobhan, good evening. I did receive my package a while back. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate you ordering my products. White flies are a pest because they do multiply very fast. And those spider mites, they are the devil's bug. I agree with you 100% because you cannot shake that spider mite out. You gotta you gotta kill it from the soil on up into the plant. Very, very good observation. I agree with you Totally, 100%. Okay, so now I am going to let somebody win some seeds. Now, let me share this with you. You may look like you the first person that pop up on the timeline from your internet connection. It may be different from mine. So I'm going to take the answer that pops up first. Okay? Who do I talk to in my garden? That's the question. Who do I talk to? Okay, guys, for some reason it stalled. It is buffering, yeah, but it's back up now. I've never had that to happen. I've had it to happen in the I've had it to happen in the beginning of the live, but not this far in. But we're done because mama, sister, daughter got it. Unless she want to pass and let me get a season somebody else because she did win. It's up to you. Eco neighbor said you locked it down. I don't know what you're talking about, eco neighbor. Yeah, that's what I do because I pass them on. So I'm going to go back, mama, sister, daughter. I'm going to go back. And I'm going to see who's the second person that got them. We're back. Okay. Everybody telling me I'm buffering. Okay, I'm going back up. Well, nobody said it. Nobody said enough. They weren't specific. So what I will do is, mama, sister, and daughter, I will send you, instead of the seeds, I'll give the seeds next week to somebody else. I'll send you my romance, suspense, comedy, drama sooner or later. And I've got your address. Okay? So everybody, let's congratulate her. She'll get my book instead. All right. So am I back, everybody? Brenda, you got it, but it was a little too late. And by right, it's everybody putting them on there. Oh, I guess it came back and all these this live feed is coming in. So I think I did everything. Oh, I want to show you all this. So I know where I was. I know what I was saying. I lost my train of thought about these candles, these soy candles, and they have these smells wonderful. I've been burning this one. It doesn't have cheap artificial scents that are going to be very overpowering. That's the word. So like lavender is good for relaxing. So I decided I'll go ahead on and do some single scent essentials like peppermint when your sinuses are jacked up. Of course, the standard one I make, peace, that is like the lavender, lemongrass, and the hibiscus. And this one is Centrola. You can melt this one outside when you're working in your garden. And the wonderful thing about these melts is, guys, you can take that wax after it's melted and put it on your elbows, your knees, your heels, because it's soy and it's moisturizing. And then we have these on the website too. I haven't put them on yet. In fact, because they just came in. I used to sell them years ago. And these are your electro warmers, and you can put your candle on here if you want to make your candle last longer, or you can put your cubes right into your little tray there. Okay, and I'm going to do some gift sets, and I'm going to sell some of these individually, and then I'm going to do like a candle gift set with the warmer and the melt and all that stuff. So I think I told you guys, I had 150 products when I stopped making them. When I had a thyroid issue and I had to have that surgery. I was sick for a long time. I had 150 products. I'm not going to go over 10. now in my retirement. Okay, thank you, mama, sister, daughter. I love the scent of that piece. It's my signature scent. It's in the just a small amount is in the body butter. A small amount, you can barely see me. Okay. Oh, okay, thank you. Let me take this down. Now, you can see me now. And what was I going to say? Yes, I'm going to do a mixed pack of oils. It'll be on there no later than Wednesday morning. And I'm going to do a gift set with the candles. And I'm going to do a gift set with the warmer and the assorted essential oils. But I'm not going to do a whole lot of them. I'm just only going to do like 5 essential oils. One, they're very expensive. 2, I don't want to keep a real large inventory like that because it's just me. And like I said, I don't want to overwhelm myself. Okay? All right. Okay, are there any more questions? I think I like this better, like sitting up here like this. I'm going to do that next week instead of the tripod. Okay, I appreciate you all coming in. I hope I've answered some questions. I hope I helped you in some type of way. You can personally email me about canning classes. I do them. They're $30. Or is it 25? $25 for a 2.5 hour class, and we'll set it up. You can email me. You can look on any one of my videos, Janae, and get my email address and email me, and we'll correspond and we'll set it up. It'll be on a Sunday afternoon. Okay, because I'm not going to church right now because we're not having church, just Zoom church. Okay, thank you, C. Holmes. I appreciate you. And Janae, I'll be looking for your email. All right, everybody, have a wonderful evening. My next video, I'm going to share with you how my fall garden, all the seedlings that I grew, how they are doing. Okay? You know that I love you and God loves you too. Good night, everybody. Good night. You're welcome. Have a great evening. Bye now.